The latest episode of WWE Monday Night Raw featured an intense tag team battle between the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, and the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed. This match was a clash of power, agility, and technical wrestling, with both teams eager to establish dominance in the tag team division. Fans anticipated an action-packed contest, and both teams delivered in an electrifying showdown that left the WWE Universe on the edge of their seats. Let's break down the match from start to finish. To this match, tensions had been rising between the Viking Raiders and WWE. While the Viking Raiders were seasoned veterans, booked this highly anticipated tag team contest for Raw. The stakes were high, as both teams wanted to secure a future shot at the WWE Tag Team Championships. With pride and momentum on the line, the WWE Universe was in for a treat. As the Viking Raiders made their entrance, the crowd erupted with mixed reactions. Eric and Ivar walked down the ramp with their signature warrior-like presence, exuding confidence and aggression. The creator of the ring, Eric tried to use his brute strength, but Julius countered with his impressive technical wrestling skills, quickly taking Eric down with a waistlock takedown. The crowd roared as Brutus followed up with a standing moonsault, landing directly on Ivar for the first pin attempt of the match. The strategy was clear: wear down the bigger opponent and keep him from tagging Eric. However, the Viking Raiders were far from finished. After a brief struggle, Ivar broke free with a devastating spinning heel kick, catching Julius and knocked him off the apron with a stiff forearm, preventing any interference. The Viking Raiders began double-teaming Brutus, executing a stunning double powerbomb that shook the entire, and the match continued with both teams now battling for momentum. As the match entered its final stretch, both teams pushed themselves to the limit. Julius Creed tagged back in and unleashed his explosive suplex arsenal, tossing Eric across the ring multiple times. He then locked in a standing guillotine choke, trying to force Eric outside the ring. But Eric caught him midair and drove him into the barricade with a brutal countout. Inside the ring, up for the Viking experience, but Julius reversed it into a roll-up pin attempt. The WWE Universe thought it was over, but Eric kicked out just in time. Frustrated but determined, Julius went for his signature cartwheel powerbomb, lifting Eric onto his shoulders. However, before he could execute the move, Ivar re-entered and super-kicked Julius, breaking the momentum. The Viking Raiders took advantage of the opening and finally hit their devastating finisher, the Viking experience. The bell rang. The Viking Raiders had won the match. After the bell, the Viking Raiders stood tall, celebrating their hard-fought victory. Though battered and exhausted, they had once again proven their dominance in the tag team division. The Creed brothers, despite their loss, received a standing ovation from the crowd. They had put up a valiant fight and came close to victory on multiple occasions. As they recovered in the ring, Julius and Brutus exchanged nods of mutual respect, knowing they had given everything in this battle. The Viking Raiders left the ring, signaling that they were ready for bigger challenges ahead. Meanwhile, the Creed brothers, though disappointed, showed no signs of backing down and looked more determined than ever to fight their way back to the top. This match was an absolute thriller, blending technical wrestling, powerhouse moves, and high-impact action. The Viking Raiders' experience and brutality ultimately gave them the edge, but the Creed brothers proved they belong at the highest level of WWE's tag team division.